Hello friends, I'm Tom Downey. Alongside me is Mitchell Renz. Time now for our NFL mailbag questions. We'll break them down. Use hashtag NFL in the comment section. We'll bring in some of your live ones as well. Some of them, of course, we've already grabbed, so we'll lead off with those. First up, from Fresh Prince Boy, which I always appreciate as a username, Nick Mullens to Denver. And I like it because you're connecting dots there. And I always like when people do that because Nick Mullens, well, he was coached by former Niners quarterback coach Rich Scangarello, who is now the Broncos OC. So you're tying the dots there, Mitch.
Nick Mullens looks like he's smelling something that's a little bit ripe, and maybe he smells the quarterback play of Case Keenum in Denver. However, Tom, I don't know if I'm necessarily sold on Nick Mullens being a better quarterback than Case Keenum. Just saying. So Mullens to the Broncos, sure. I don't know if he would ultimately beat out Case Keenum, though.
I think if you trade for Nick Mullens at that point, you're cutting Case Keenum to free up more cap space. So that's what I think. I don't think it'll go down, but if Nick Mullens does get dealt, I think Denver Broncos can be one of the top teams that makes sense for him. All right, folks, get your NFL questions in the comments for our live Q&A right now. Use hashtag NFL to have those questions featured. Next up from Ohio State, the best, kind of piggybacking off that last one. Who is the next quarterback in Denver? Now, as of right now, look at their depth chart. They've got Case Keenum and Kevin Hogan and also Garrett Grayson. So, wow. No quarterback of the future right there.
Yeah, definitely not. And even when they got Case Keenum, I wasn't necessarily sold on Case Keenum because I think he was a little bit more of a product system quarterback with the Vikings. And let's just be honest, they had a lot more talented pieces in Minnesota than what they do in Denver. But when you're looking at possible targets for the Broncos, Nick Foles, Joe Flacco, Nick Mullens, and then, two guys in college.
2 draft guys, yeah, of course.
Hey,
I try to split it up kind of evenly.
If I'm going to put my money, though, if I'm a betting man, which I am,
yeah,
chatsports.com/bet, I'm going to go Joe Flacco.
I think Flacco could make some sense there. I do think if Drew Lock has a solid showing at the Senior Bowl, which is this week, which I expect, I think he makes a lot of sense to Denver at number 10. So of those guys, I'll actually take Drew Lock, at least looking forward. I could also see a scenario where they cut Case Keenum, they sign Joe Flacco, and then they also end up drafting Drew Lock.
What happened to Paxton Lynch?
He's bad.
No, I know. Too soon, Denver?
So
too soon?
Always too soon for that one. Remember how the Cowboys desperately wanted Paxton Lynch and didn't get him? And then ended up with Dak Prescott?
All I remember his awful facial hair. That's the only thing that he's ever done for the NFL.
Also, yes. All right. Greeby90, is Quinnen Williams really still worth that high of picks? Because they didn't think he was that good against Clemson. He did, though, have 4 tackles and 1.5 tackles for loss against Clemson. And, yeah, he definitely didn't have his best showing. But as you kind of mentioned, you can't put too much emphasis on one game because then you end up with Kevin Dodd. That's what ends up happening if you go that route. So I love Quinnen Williams. I thought he was absolutely fantastic, in particular games against Georgia and LSU. And even though he wasn't always making the play themselves, he did still get plenty of penetration in that game.
I was just going to say, Quinnen Williams isn't one of those players that necessarily fills up the stat sheet. Now, a defensive tackle, I think a lot of times when we look at numbers from a defensive lineman standpoint, you can't look at defensive end and defensive tackle. And a lot of times, Quinnen Williams is taking on a lot of double teams. And like you said, he's a disruptor inside. And he might not fill up the stat sheet, and sure, his stats might not jump off the page against Clemson. Dude's making an impact every single game. I can guarantee you that.
And he's not Aaron Donald, but then again, no one really is. All right, folks, subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/chatsportstv. That's if you're watching on Facebook, just go to that URL. If you're watching on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button right now. We'll do these all the time, these live mailbags and live Q&As, and all kinds of NFL draft and free agency content as well. All right, Basil Ahmed says that the NFL need to change the overtime format. We figure this was quite timely because we saw quite a few likes on this one on the channel page as well. So, yes or no, Mitch? Type Y for yes, type N for no for those of you watching at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to the college setup. That's the way I want it to go. I think
fun.
It's more entertaining. It gives each team a shot.
You have to move the ball way further back, though.
Okay. What, like the 50?
If you're gonna go to the exact college format, I think you have to go to the 50. Because otherwise, you're already in field goal range.
That's fair.
And that kind of defeats the whole purpose, right?
That's fair.
At the same time, also just get a stop on defense on one of those third downs.
Yeah.
So it's yes and no.
I think it would make it more entertaining. I mean, let's be real. I like watching overtime games. Imagine 7 overtimes in an NFL playoff game.
Too much.
Sign me up.
That's just too much there.
LSU, Texas A&M, get at it.
That was an incredible game. I was up so late for that. Had to be in the office at 5 a.m. Worth it. Fresh Prince Boy back again says, is this the last year for the Tom Brady and Bill Belichick dynasty? I kind of don't think so. We'll kind of take a look at the overall player cards here for Brady and for Belichick. But my overall point here, Mitch, is they're still really good. Why leave?
Yeah, I don't see it happening. I don't really see why this breakup would happen ultimately. Like, I understand he's 41 years old, and there was a lot of rumors around, oh, maybe Brady slowed down. No. I don't think he has whatsoever. This dude has been absolutely incredible in the postseason, and the Patriots continue to dominate. I mean, over the last 11 AFC titles, the Patriots have been in 9. That's just dumb, really. Why would the dominance end? They're in another Super Bowl. They're the Super Bowl favorites. I don't see Brady or Belichick ending it anytime soon, and I can understand that Belichick is 66 years old, and he's the second oldest coach in the NFL, but they just keep winning games, and you can argue it's the greatest dynasty ever. And in fact, I would argue that the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady Patriots, greatest dynasty of all time.
All right, so we'll get some more questions here again. Keep using hashtag NFL. Tyler Burbeck, will the Browns make the playoffs next year? Yes, they are, folks. Welcome to the Browns Super Bowl window. Have I convinced you on that yet? Because I've mentioned it like 3 different times.
Are they gonna make the playoffs? I'm still not gonna sign up for it.
Yes, they are.
I know the Steelers are the Steelers in a sense.
They're winning the AFC North.
The Browns are gonna win the AFC North.
Yes, they are. Book it right now.
Okay, I'm not taking them over the Ravens and Steelers. I don't care if the Steelers lose AB. I don't care if they lose Bell.
Browns went 5-2 last year. They've got a super young, talented team that in theory is only going to get better. They're going to have competent coaching for the first time in several years, full time, not just interim style.
Let's see.
The Browns are making the playoffs. They're winning the AFC North.
I'm typing my 2 for no. I don't think it's happening.
So wrong right now. You're just so wrong. All right, folks.
Let's bet on it.
Yeah, you can bet on it. Bet DSI. They'll put out championship odds to win the divisions. I'm putting my money on the Browns, by the way, barring a colossally bad offseason or if like Baker gets hurt or something. But if you want an NFL jersey, go sign up deposit with MasterCard or Bitcoin over on BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet, live 120. Then DM us on Twitter @chatsports. Get an NFL jersey, which is the best deal out there.
Best deal out there. Plus, when you sign up and use Bitcoin, you get 150% deposit bonus. So not just the 120, the 150. So put down $100, use Bitcoin, you get 150 for free. Then just DM us on Twitter @chatsports. Get yourself a free NFL jersey of your choice.
All right, more NFL mailbag questions from Bad Vlogger B. Micah says, do you think the Cardinals trade down in the draft? I think they would like to. They have plenty of needs. They would get extra picks and high-value picks if they trade down. But sometimes if the trade value is not right, they're just going to take the stud player, be it a Bosa, a Quinnen Williams, or heck, even a Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think it's a lot harder to trade down necessarily than what people think. And I think the Cardinals actually have an okay defense. They need a lot more help on the offensive side of the football, and I've seen them be rumored maybe to take an offensive lineman or whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's pretty hard to trade down, especially to get, I think, the value that the Cardinals are going to want to get for that second overall pick.
All right, Pratik Patel says, should the Jets trade down with the Jags so they can take Haskins, and the Jets acquire more draft capital while picking someone like a Jonah Williams? You used to work for the Jets, so I'll let you answer this one first. How about that? And then I kind of gave it away there with the descriptions on it.
Yeah, it's all good. This is an interesting move for me. However, I could see them happening. I mean, at the end of the day, a bunch of these teams who have a quarterback who are bad, if you can trade down and maybe get a lot of picks to help out for the long haul, I necessarily don't mind it. Because, I mean, Sam Darnold, even though he struggled a little bit, he is still the answer there at quarterback.
So if I'm the Jet, this is what I try to do.
Okay. I'm hearing you.
Because there's a good chance that if you're in New York, you miss out on Josh Allen and you end up missing out on
Williams,
Bosa. So you miss out. You could miss out on both edge guys.
Yep.
You have Leonard Williams, and maybe you trade away Leonard to get a draft pick and just take Quinnen, or maybe you trade down, you get an offensive lineman or a lesser defensive prospect who can help rush the passer, and you don't have that second-round pick because of the Sam Darnold trade. Yeah, you got 2/3, but you trade away. You go from 3 to 6 or from 3 to 7. That's going to get you a second-round pick back.
Okay.
So now you're able to have that second-round pick. You still get a good prospect. I'd do it.
Hey, at the end of the day, I think the Jets are like, we need as much help as possible, so bring in the picks.
All right, so get your NFL questions in the comments for our live Q&A, folks, and we got plenty of great answers here in the show, I think, so keep them coming. We're going to go rapid fire here in just a little bit. All right, Stevie Vasquez says, do you think Dez Bryant has a chance of going back to Dallas? I'll let you answer this one first because you know how I am about the Cowboys, and then I want you to answer how you think I'm going to answer to it.
Do I think that he has a chance? Sure, anything can happen, but I think Dez, I don't know. I would like to see him go back to the Saints because the Saints were the team that gave him his chance. But I think that you're going to say yes.
I actually do think there's kind of a chance here.
Oh, boy.
I actually do. And I was all against this and any time before the firings went in. Linehan did not like Dez Bryant.
Yep.
Linehan was a big reason why Dez was off the Cowboys last year.
Okay.
Because the Cowboys listened to Scott because reasons. Now, he has to take a much smaller role because Michael Gallup's going to be your number 2 along with Amari Cooper.
Yep.
Someone will be your number 3, maybe Cole Beasley, maybe not. But I do kind of think that Dez Bryant makes sense there.
You think maybe?
Maybe. I don't think it would actually happen, but I think that there is at least a possibility of it.
So do you think a lot of times when wide receivers get older, especially a big-bodied receiver like Dez, sure, I think he's lost a step, and I think we can all agree he's going to lose a step after the Achilles injury. Maybe not being a tight end, but playing a tight end-like role?
Big slot is what you're calling it. So
sure.
maybe.
Yeah, he's not going to block.
So
Let's be real.
All right, so that is latest there on Dez Bryant, and maybe, just maybe, going back to the Cowboys.